Hey everyone, welcome to Saturday Night Popcorn. This is Jason.
This is Kai, and we have another great discussion for you today. The movie of the day is Speed from 1994. This is the last movie in our Summer Blockbusters series for July 2024. It's from 94. It's older now, so I'll give you a spoiler warning just in case you haven't seen it. This was actually my first time watching it. I don't know if
Oh,
Jason had
crazy.
seen it
I didn't know
previously.
that.
But we'll give a description of the film before we get into it. Speed from 1994 is a high-octane action thriller directed by Jean de Bont. The film stars Keanu Reeves as Jack Traven, a Los Angeles SWAT officer, and Sandra Bullock as Annie Porter, a passenger who becomes an unexpected hero. The plot revolves around a city bus rigged with a bomb by a vengeful extortionist, Howard Payne, played by Dennis Hopper. The bomb is set to explode if the bus's speed drops below 50 miles per hour. Jack must navigate the challenges of keeping the bus moving through the busy streets of Los Angeles while figuring out how to defuse the bomb. With Annie's help, they work together to save the passengers and outsmart Payne. The film is packed with intense action sequences, suspense, and a touch of romance, making it a classic in the action genre.
All right. I didn't know this was the first time you've seen this.
Yeah.
So, I've seen this many times.
I'm not a Keanu Reeves fan like that. I can't. So I have to kind of be in the right mindset to deal with his acting. He's a great, he's in some great movies, but his acting is just not my cup of tea sometimes.
Yeah, because that was like one of my questions too. It was like, all right, like I know he was in Point Break, like a little bit before this, like a few years before this, but like I think nowadays a lot of people see him as like an action star.
Yeah,
but back then,
man of little words. Like he doesn't really say much in John Wick.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, but back then in the 90s, when he's kind of getting his wheels of like being an actor and stuff, like I don't think anybody really saw him as an action star, like the blockbuster movies until like the Matrix came out.
The Matrix, yeah. It took him being in action films for people to be like, oh man, he's an action star, and he knows karate.
That's why I was like, man, it's like it's very like I know Point Break is there, and then there's this, and it's like, man, like I wonder if like people are like confused, like, all right, like this guy, he's gonna be in this like blockbuster film, like Die Hard or something, like. But I think it works for me. I definitely think like this is similar to the feel, and I think Die Hard has better tempo and stuff, like more. Kind of build up to everything. Yeah, Die Hard is like a cooler film, I think. But this one is like a cool concept.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed all the twists. I enjoyed the fact that as you're watching, you think like, oh, that's the end. They figured it out. And then Dennis Hopper was like, nah, you don't have me yet.
Yeah, because like there's like a whole 30-minute sequence basically like in the beginning, and it's like this elevator, like Dennis Hopper, like he's like trying to blow up an elevator and stuff, and you kind of forget that that's like the beginning, where it's like you always think it's like the whole movie's just like based on the bus and stuff. But
that's
like,
what I thought. Yeah. So when I turned it on, I thought I was watching the wrong movie. I was like, okay, where's the bus? Because that's what every like you were saying, everybody pictures the bus scene, and hey, you're in a bus, there's a bomb on it, and you have to go 50 miles an hour above. And so I'm like turning this movie on, like, okay, cool, where's the bus? I'm like, FBI, LAPD, like, what the hell is going on? I want to see a bus.
Yeah, I guess it could be confusing, but yeah, there's like a whole like 30-minute sequence of like him trying to blow up, and they get money, get like $2 or $3 million from these people trying to like hold hostage these people inside of an elevator. And that's probably what makes a lot of people super scared of elevators. I don't know. I think I've always had this like thought, like when you're like you're like in an elevator, you're like, all right, this thing falls. There's mechanisms to make this stop falling, right?
Yeah, there's like safety features. But like if you watch an elevator, I work in construction, so I've seen an elevator being built, and it's a piece of shit. It's just like, really? That's what I'm in? Like, all right.
It's like popsicle sticks holding together and
That's what it feels like
everything.
sometimes. You're like, okay. Like the city signed off on this. Like, okay. Like the
Right.
state, matter of fact, the state signed. Like, okay, cool.
I don't know. Wait, for me, I think Point Break and some like Heat, they're like those action movies had a little bit more substance to them. Like there was a
Yeah.
lot going on, but I think still Speed still didn't assume that the audience was super dumb and everything. Like how like modern movies nowadays, like everyone believes like the audiences are like
Oh, stupid.
crazy dumb, and you have to like, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like give everything to them. There's not
Spoon
like
feed
much of
you.
like, because I think Jeff Daniels is and Keanu Reeves is like back and forth in the beginning sequence of like them trying to problem solve. It sounds like an actual discussion of like, all right, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Let's go through this and stuff. And it seems like they're not like spoon feeding you an answer as an audience. You're kind of like, oh yeah, like this totally seems like a very sketchy situation, and it's like, what do you do and all this, and it seems interesting.
Because you don't see that in movies now. Like most
Mm.
movies, like you were saying, are like there's an issue and it's resolved in 2 seconds.
Yeah, or like they say it immediately. It's like, oh, we got to do this and everything. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
well, like let's kind of do a little lead up to it and
Yeah.
everything.
Tease me first. Like, come on.
Yeah, I think complex movies for some reason just like, I don't know, is it like our attention span, like we're just stupid Americans and stuff, like because like the Green
You got to
Knight
blame social
movies like
media.
those. Yeah, also yeah, like our attention span of like, oh, I can only
Yeah.
watch things for like 20 seconds at
That's
a
why
time.
movies are so like chopped up now. There's so many cuts.
Yeah, right. I guess that's like, I don't know. That's why a lot of cinephiles I think like grab on to like A24,
Mm-hmm.
is it's like it gives you the film experience, I think,
Yeah.
as opposed to what we get now and stuff. But I don't know. I really like this movie. I like the concept of um, like the bus has to be going this speed and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and then he jumps on the bus, and now he has to like figure out what the hell's going on and all this stuff. Like it was very, I think it was very novel at the time too. Because now I think you can kind of think about it. You're like, oh, that's like seems very like easy to think about. But back then in
Mm.
'91 or '94, like whoa, like everyone's riding buses. But have we ever thought about like what if someone like rigs a bus to like only go to speed and everything?
That'd be a nightmare, especially in LA. Like,
Yeah, right.
because they didn't really deal with LA traffic.
No,
They got
they
like
figured it
a
out.
easy, yeah, they got an easy, sweet taste of LA traffic. LA traffic is bumper to bumper. There's no way they were getting over 50, getting anywhere near 50, matter of fact.
I
They'd be donezo. Like,
know.
all right, the movie's over.
People in
Boom,
LA
the
are
movie's
like, we're
over.
never going over 50. So it's like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah, unless you're there at like 2 a.m.
yeah.
Only time.
I don't know. Do you think the bus, like the whole bus situation? I know people still ride buses today, but
Hmm.
for me, I haven't ridden a bus in a long time. You think it's still relatable? Like nowadays, you see movies with like Lyft
Yeah,
drivers
people
and
would do
stuff, so it's like it's
Ubers or like
updated.
Lyfts or something. Yeah, any ride
Yeah.
share. I think
So like
that's
the
where a lot of
modern
movies are
people,
turning to.
it
Yeah,
is, right? There's like movies that are coming out with ride sharing and different
yeah,
things. Like there's no more, like you don't see stuff about taxis anymore. Like that's ride sharing nowadays, and
yeah.
that's how we get around. But you think modern people or like younger adults like will find this still relatable because like maybe they don't ride buses as often.
I think they'll find joy because like I found joy watching this, even though I put it off for so long because of Keanu Reeves. But
Mm.
I think I think people would find joy in the action of it and the suspense as it plays out because you really don't know what's going to happen. Like I before watching this, I expected it to be very dull, just
Mm-hmm.
like a whole hour and a half long film about some people on a bus that was rigged with a bomb and they're driving through LA. I thought it was going to be that dull, but to actually like watch it and watch how they don't know what the hell they're going to do or how they're going to escape this or how they're going to get all these people off the bus, and you're watching them figure it out as they go and like duck into the airport so they can get the people to safety. Like
Yeah.
it was a great ride.
Yeah, even myself, like I've seen this movie multiple times, and even still, I watched it yesterday, and I was like, "This is still like, oh man, I feel the tension. I feel
Yeah,
like this is like nerve wracking." And Patty next to me hadn't seen it in a long time, and she's like getting up in her seat, and she's like, "What the hell's gonna happen next?" I was like, "I don't know. We gotta watch it."
I forgot. It's been a while.
I truly think the what's very good about this movie is Sandra Bullock. I think
Yes,
this movie made everyone fall in love with Sandra Bullock.
I was already in love with her, so it was perfect.
Yeah, but like back then, 94, probably, I don't know if this is like what film this is for on her scale, but
Oh, she was in this crappy movie before this that I watched for some
yeah.
reason. Oh, because she was in it. That's the reason I watched it. Yeah, and it was terrible. Yeah, and I want to find it. It
But
was really
like
bad.
Sandra Bullock, like, oh my god, she totally embodies that like nervous but scared person and stuff, like, or like
But she had
scared but
confidence
like
in it, though.
sarcastic and everything like that. Sarcasm, like she's confident in it. Like
Yeah.
she almost kind of like emulated like Laura Croft from like Tomb Raider. She sort of has like the same look and style and everything, but I don't know. It was interesting.
Nah, she
I
was
think that's
great.
probably why she got Speed 2 as another movie after this.
Why'd they make a second?
Because Sandra Bullock, I think they needed to make another
Goodness.
movie with her.
Goodness.
And then I think Speed 2 is like on like a freaking cruise. Like the boat won't stop.
Like
So it's
just
like
reaching for stuff. I didn't even know that was a thing.
yeah, it's much worse, but I think everyone just wanted to see Sandra Bullock again.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I'll try to watch as many of her movies as I can. Oh, she was in The Net. That was after. The Net was good. That was 95,
The
though.
Net.
Yeah. She works for like a
Nah.
computer company. It was good. I can't find this freaking movie, but she was in this movie. I think it was like with Hugh Grant or something. I forgot how I found it, but I was like, yo, Sandra Bullock. So I watched it and I was like, this movie's a piece of shit, but at least she's in
You got to
it.
start somewhere.
Right? Yeah. Oh my goodness, that movie was bad.
Yeah, but I think Sandra Bullock really makes. I think it's also like you said, like it could be like a very good distraction to like Keanu Reeves, like how
Yeah.
bad his acting can be. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That's
I
my
don't judge
dislike of
his
the movie
acting.
is his
I
acting.
Yeah, I don't judge his acting. It's like whatever. I guess you're not like I'm not looking for a lot out of this dude and everything. Like knowing that he came from Bill and Ted and
But that's perfect for him though.
oh yeah,
Like it's like Ashton Kutcher. Like you don't expect much acting wise. But like Dude,
right.
Where's My Car was perfect for him. Bill and Ted was perfect for Keanu.
Yeah, right.
Minimal lines is perfect.
I don't know. And then
Or
Dennis
stoner
Hopper.
flicks.
Dennis Hopper, I think, is like
He
a
was a
fairly
badass
like
too. Like
cool evil
he was a
dude and
badass.
everything. I
Calm,
think
cool,
we
collected.
we have a lot of good things that we have about this movie. What do you find as like a bad thing, other than
I already
Keanu
said it.
Reeves' acting?
No, that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah, there was probably something else I can be nitpicky about, but like that was the big thing. Oh, some of the antics from some of the passengers on the bus was kind of like
yeah,
for real. Like the guy that tried to shoot Keanu. It's like, bro, he's
yeah.
trying to
Like
help you. He's trying
this
to
is
save you.
not all about you.
Yeah, and then shoots the bus driver, and then the bus driver is just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. Like the antics of them. There's some points that like I think the ending sequence, like on the subway train and everything. I was like, it
That
probably could have
was
ended.
far fetched.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
probably could have ended before that and
yeah.
everything. Because like you got your fill. You got your fill of like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, he wants to blow up this freaking elevator and then it goes on to this like
To
bus
bus.
ride. And I think it could have ended by then and stuff. Or like they could have figured it out. Had a good shootout in the middle of like that area where they planted the money and everything.
Yeah.
Would have been cool and all that stuff. But I think it's just like, and then his head gets popped off and everything because he doesn't know how to look up. So then you're like, all right, like this guy was smart the whole way through.
And then just loses his shit.
Literally and
But
everything.
you and I were talking about it. I don't know if you said all your dislikes already.
No, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about it before we start recording, but Do you think this inspired the OJ chase?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, because like we had to look it up before we started recording, where it's like where in the sequence of time, our own personal time, like did the
Yeah.
OJ chase happen, and then the
And
initial
Speed.
like him like driving towards the bus in Speed looks exactly like the OJ chase.
Mm-hmm.
So what did we find out? It was like a
So
month or so.
no, it was a couple days.
Days.
7 days. So OJ was June 17, 94. Speed, wish I would have kept the freaking link up, but Speed, I want to say June 10, 94.
Hey, I think you did say 10.
No, this says June 7, so even worse.
Okay.
So
maybe OJ watched Speed as his last movie before he decided to go to prison and stuff and everything.
allegedly.
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 But
R.I.P.
yeah, it could be. It could have been that like that was like just a little bit. It's a fairly good coincidence, I guess, right? If it wasn't, sort of the
I wonder
same
if we
style
do
car.
I wonder if we do more Google searching, if we'll find people that have tried to connect the dots between
Oh, I bet there's like a
these.
rabbit hole you can find
Because
on
we can't be the
Reddit.
first ones that were like, oh my goodness, these came out. This happened around the same time. Like, we can't be the first ones.
The moment I saw it in Speed, I was like, I turned to Patty. I was like, this totally looks like the OJ chase.
Yeah, I put that on my notes. I was like, this has to be the OJ chase. Like, immediately, I was like, this has to be it.
Yeah, it just needs the white Bronco. Just gotta paint
Right.
that car white, and then you're fine.
LA too? Like, come
yeah, right? Like, oh my
Mhm.
god. But who do you recommend this to? I guess anybody that like loves Keanu
Sandra Bullock?
Reeves's.
Yes.
Keanu Reeves. I was gonna say Keanu Reeves'
No,
acting.
Sandra Bullock. Come on.
I
No, I
do.
think,
I definitely think like yeah, if you love Sandra Bullock, I think this is a very good movie to watch.
yeah. But I think anyone, like, I think action movie buffs, if you're into action films, if you're into films from the 90s, this is a quintessential film from the 90s. I think you'll find some enjoyment in this. This was a great movie.
Yeah, I'm fairly surprised that I still enjoyed this years later, and I've watched this multiple times. That like I can still find tension and excitement from watching this movie.
Yeah.
Like you said, you said it. Die Hard has a little bit more complexity, kind of better cinematography. I think that movie's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, but this one, it's like, yeah, it just hits all the right points. It's a very exciting movie. It's a good Friday movie if you just want to like, just have like a John Wick style movie where he's like, I
Mm-hmm.
just want to have some action,
I want
and
to
then
have
just
fun.
for the next hour and a
Yeah.
half, 2 hours and stuff, and just like pop some popcorn and stuff, and just have fun and everything. Yeah, I think I agree. Where it's like, I think there's some people that would definitely like, oh, this is like too simple and everything. But it's like I think you have to go into this like movie knowing this is an action film,
Yeah,
and
you have to
that's
go
it.
into it with no expectations.
Yeah,
Because I know there's been plenty of times, even like since we've started this podcast, that I've went into movies with expectations, and then we start recording, and like my rating is terrible. And then we have the conversation, and we
and
talk
you're
about
like,
like, oh yeah, this happened in the movie and this, and I'm like, oh, this movie is actually pretty damn
yeah,
good.
right. Now that gets to the rating. What'd you end up giving it?
I gave it a 3.
3.
I'm thinking I'm in between 3.5, but I gave it a 3.
See, it's funny, yeah, because I gave it a 4. I was like, this is a solid 4. I was probably thinking about 3.5 also,
Mm-hmm.
but how I enjoyed it after like watching it so many times, I think a 4. I was like, man, this is like a fairly good movie from like point A to point B, literally. Like with this bus and everything. I
Yeah,
think it can end a little bit sooner. That's the only downside, but I think anybody will enjoy this.
I agree.
Okay. All right, Kai, you want to take us out?
Yup. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Saturday Night Popcorn. I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and we'll be back next week for another one. And please let us know in the comments below if you liked it, disliked it, Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. I think that's That's the only person that you should watch it for.
Yes. Dennis
But
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper, yeah, maybe Jeff Daniels, yeah.
Eh.
But yeah, let us know if you liked it, disliked it in the comments below, and please like and subscribe to Saturday Night Popcorn for more podcasts like these.